Hello, I'm ARCHIELUXURY and I'm coming to you live from Melbourne. And today I'd like to talk to you about some fancy motor cars. The motors in Melbourne. That's right, Governor. The motor cars in Melbourne. And I gotta say, you know, one thing I love is I love doing a bit of navel gazing, and it's always nice to see the cars that are in a particular, particular city. And I gotta say, Melbourne's it's a real classy fuckers. They're really classy fuckers. That's right, they're really classy fuckers in Melbourne. And we're coming into the city. I got my muscle with me, Governor, the muscle's with me, and I saw this beautiful Ferrari. That's right, it's a convertible Ferrari 430. And it was just it's a stunning motor car, Governor. It's a real fuck-off piece. It's a real fuck-off piece. And right behind the Ferrari, little Ferrari, there's a Maserati 3200 GT, which is that's Italian for big trouble. But it's a cool looking car, I gotta say. The Maserati was a cool looking car, and it was really, I loved it. I love looking at fancy motor cars, Governor. I love looking at fancy motors. And as we were walking in the city there, this is in Collins Street, there was a Rolls Royce. A roller, Governor. I had some grief with the fucking roller. I had some grief. Yes, there was a Rolls Royce, and it's quite a sexy car. I gotta say, it's a vintage. It's a vintage Rolls Royce, and from the number plate 1949. So it's just it's a bit of an old dog, Governor. She's an old dog, but it really looked the part. It was a really beautiful motor car. And very impressive. And there was a Mercedes SL. That's right, Governor. An SL 500. Yes. A very beautiful Mercedes-Benz SL 500 in red. What a fucking cool car. It's just nice to see these things. And heaps of Porsches in Melbourne. 911 Carreras. Yes, 911s. They're sort of dime a dozen in Melbourne. And I gotta say, there are some really cool motor cars that we saw in the Melbourne CBD. And it was just, it's eye candy for the car enthusiast. And it was just beautiful to see such wonderful motor cars. And when we went to the countryside, there was even some more beautiful cars, very beautiful. And we went into the seaside, Governor. We went to the seaside. We're going to the seaside. Went to the seaside, and there was a beautiful 370Z Nissan. I really like that car. It's a really cool. That's a really cool car. Your Benzes, dime a dozen. Mercedes Benzes in Melbourne are just dime a dozen. Nothing special, Governor. Nothing special. But I gotta say, what really impressed me, we were behind a Maserati Quattroporte. That's right. When we were driving out to the seaside, we were behind a Maserati Quattroporte, 4-door Maserati, and I said to Brian, I'm just dropping the windows down. Man, I just wanted to hear that thing, hear that note. And then we saw a Thunderbird, an old Thunderbird, and it was just absolutely fantastic. There are some really beautiful cars in Melbourne. It's just amazing. You see things that you wouldn't normally see, and I was really impressed. Melbourne is a great place to see all these wonderful things here. And one really cool sight was a coral pink Citroen DS. That's right, it was a Citroen DS. and it was in coral pink. I don't know if that's a factory color, but man, it looked really cool, and it had the most beautiful interior. It was a aqua blue type interior, and I don't know how original this would have been, but man, this was one zany citron, and coral pink with a blue interior, a hot blue interior. It looked amazing, and it was beautiful to see such a beautiful car. And not far from that, then there was an E500 Mercedes. I love the E500 in the previous shape. One of my favourite type of cars, and it looked beautiful. And I got to say, there are some really classy cars in Melbourne. Melbourne has some really fantastic cars. I'm Archie Luxury, coming to you live from Melbourne. And these are some of the exotic cars I saw in Melbourne. See you later!